very well could be in my top 5 games of the year. Hi there guys, it's Aaron here, coming at you from Summer Games Fest to give you my thoughts on a little game called Astro Bot. Not Astro Bot Rescue Mission, not Astro's Playroom, just plainly Astro Bot. I got to go hands-on with it for 45 minutes, and guys, let me tell you now, it's Astro's Playroom, but better. Need I say more? For those that don't know, Astro's Playroom was the pack-in game, a kind of free demo of sorts for those that got a PS5 right out of the box. And I think many of us were really charmed by it and just how well it managed to capture that old school 3D platformer charm, coupled along with the appreciation for PlayStation history, such as the PlayStation Move controller, PS2 memory cards. You were out there discovering all these things, saving obviously Astro's friends, and you very much do the same here in a game that is out in September. There's not much longer to go. I got to explore a couple of levels from the tentacle system. So obviously this is set in outer space. I couldn't really tell if it was set within a PlayStation 5 again or anything like that. You ride a DualSense controller that acts as your ship, and you enter each level by literally, you know, controlling like this using the 6-axis controls. I don't know if they still call them that, but essentially you're controlling it, and you can boost, and you really need to pay attention, because as you're coming into each level to land, there's still some obstacles or maybe some hidden collectibles that you won't want to miss. So yeah, the tentacle system, the first level was called Sky Garden, and this was really getting to grips with all things Astro Bot again, because it has been like a fair few years since we played that Astro's Playroom, but it was really charming. Obviously standard melee hits, jumping about, you've got the boost, which when floating above enemies destroys them, and it's looking so crisp. You can tell like Team Asobi have paid extra special attention to detail to get this game looking as best as it possibly can. Obviously no character speaks, but you know, you don't really need voice lines or dialogue in order to get that charm across when the characterization and the animation is just so charming. A lot of people will look at Astro Bot and think that's what you're going to make your mascot, kind of bland really, but I think Team Asobi proved before in Astro's Playroom they can do it, and they're doing it here again with a game that's of much bigger scale and you know, a lot more fun. So you're still rescuing bots. That is what you're going to do. You're going to poke around every corner of each level, and the same is very much true for Sky Garden, popping around flowers, destroying enemies, finding the bots. But obviously, whereas in the original Astro's Playroom, the kind of old school PlayStation characters and PlayStation mascots were reserved for like cheeky cameos and Easter eggs, here it's actually built into the fabric of the quote-unquote story that you're also rescuing the botified versions of characters like Ratchet and Clank, Rivet, Parappa the Rapper. Those 3 are the 3 that I'll mention here, the ones that I were able to rescue in my demo, and that's alongside the standard Astro Bot. So you're being encouraged to explore, you're being encouraged to ask around, and this is as close as we're going to get to PlayStation making a Mario game. I'm just convinced. I only got to play about 3 or 4 levels in the 45 minutes that I played, but there are so many systems, guys. I think there's like 6 systems, the tentacle system being your first one, and within those I estimate that you get anywhere between like a dozen, 15 extra levels. Some of them are going to be, you know, fully blown levels, take about, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes to complete. Other ones are going to be like single lane challenges where it's like, okay, we're going to give you this item, then you really have to master that item. If you die, you're going to be sent back to the beginning. So it's really, variety is the spice of life in Astro Bot. Again, it's a known quantity, but by blowing it up into a full game, we really get to explore these ideas a lot better. And one of my favorite ideas came a little bit later in the level. One of the boss levels, it was a giant tentacled octopus, and in the lead up to that boss, it was very exciting because I got, you know, Astro was equipped with these kind of like ribbit boxing gloves, and they were on a spring, so Astro Bot could literally bash enemies from afar, grapple onto kind of like swing points, and use those spring boxing gloves to kind of get around the places. And it's that kind of ingenuity that I really appreciate from Team Asobi. They give you a tool, but they don't just use it for one thing. They use it for multiple things. They really take a tool or a gimmick or a mechanic, give it to Astro Bot, and then they really push it to the very best of its limit. Other creative ideas were a kind of a thing that would inflate Astro Bot, making him rise to the top and bottom easily, and you would use that to get to harder reach places. And then another one was kind of like a jetpack dog, which you could use to bash enemies like straight through, but also bash through glass and kind of like ping pong yourself around a level in a predetermined path. It all felt very fun. Good mix of Sonic in that way, kind of like Sonic and Mario, especially when it comes to movement. So yeah, Astro Bot was a lot of fun. I got to play the Sky Garden level, which I've just told you about, the Construction Derby level, where, you know, there's a giant ape at the end of the stage, his little minions are coming after you, and it was really during that you got to use this, or I got to rather, got to use the powers of the Boost Dog. So anyway guys, that just about does it for my thoughts on Astro Bot here at Summer Game Fest. From what I played so far, 45 minutes, it's so fun, it's so charming. Do you plan on picking up Astro Bot? Are you excited for it? Did you like what you saw at the PlayStation State of Play? Be sure to let me know in the comments section below. And then when you've done that, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, be sure to leave it a like. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.